Well, all right, guys. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Guy in Too Small of a Garage trying to do car repairs, right? On today's episode, we're going to be doing some joints on your 2000 Nissan Xterra, right? 24 years old on that, I guess, if I can do the math, which, I mean, don't check me, right? Yeah, so we're going to be doing those today on the main drive shaft, the propeller shaft, the go stick, if you will. Anyway, today that's what we're going to be doing, and hopefully it works out for us. All right, guys, so the first thing you're going to want to do is get her up off the ground, right? Get her up on some jack stands, guys. Because if you don't do that, when you crack that guy loose up there, she's going to roll away on you and maybe turn you into a pancake. Make you tooty, side scroller. Now, the second thing you're going to want to do, probably, maybe, is get into your old grease mobile and try to slap her into the nooch. So hit the key in the old ignition, right? Turn her on, but don't start her, and then slap her into the nooch. Then just turn the rig off. Yeah, okay, so it's going to be stuck in there now. That's all right. Alternatively, because I didn't like that beeping, you can take a pen or something, pop that guy off there, throw him on the passenger seat right there. Don't lose him. And then jam this guy in there. Push that down. Hard to do with one hand. Hold on. Shove a pen in there. Hit her. Nooch. All right, moving on. So begins the great battle of our time. So what you want to do is you want to mark your guy, right? I already marked him back in the day because I've had this off here to do the pinion seal. So you want to mark him with a corresponding mark on either guy, the flange and your guy. You can use one of these guys and hit her like this, like that, and then a corresponding guy, ooh, like that. So if you want to do that, you can do that, or you can put two lines like I did. Because these have been on here for a while, I'm gonna redo them. Just a little bit of love paint, a little bit of leftovers from a former life. All right, I don't know what that means. I don't know what I did there. Oh, maybe that's a corresponding mark onto the side here. I bet you that's what I was doing for the, anyway. Okay, and then you want to come up to the front. When you get ready to take it off, you're gonna want to mark one of these and this guy, because sometimes if it doesn't have a master spline and you put it in the wrong way, it can cause it to be a vibration, and you don't want that. So basically, yeah, do that. So mark this guy, mark that guy, let it rip, right? So let's do that. Should have cleaned her off first, bud. So when you take it off, you just got to make sure that these line up, and then when you put it back on and those line up, right? All right, onwards. Oh, fighting against the claustro-phobias. Okay, on the rear there, you're looking at a 17. So grab your ducka, a wiggler 17, an extension. Just make sure you don't have a panic attack because you keep getting stuck and hung up on things. You're aiming to get these guys off, right? Remember, we marked her. So you lock her on, lock that guy on. Blaster. If you don't have a blaster, you may have to put a guy in there. What do you call those bars? Pry bar. May have to put one of those in there. But yeah, see why we put her in nooch? For that reason, for the rotation reason. Maybe you should take that guy out, eh? So just repeat the last step. Rotation. Now when it comes to this last one, she might come down on you. So just be aware of that. I have no idea which nut goes to which. I should have been paying attention, like I said. So once that guy's off there, just knock her off like that. Down she comes. So the audios for this section got frigged up, or maybe didn't get recorded, or who knows what happened, but basically it wasn't my fault. But your boy was saying something about lining up the indexers you made on the transmission with the ones you made on the Twizzler stick before yanking the rig out of there. It may or may not be necessary, but the less opportunities you give yourself for failure, the less excuses you'll have to come up with to explain to your wife why a whole day of struggling noises in the garage didn't amount to a repair. Oh yeah, don't forget to allow the sealing surface of the slip yoke to smash off the subframe while you're removing the rig, because you definitely want to create future problems for yourself to ensure that you have plenty of work for years to come. All right, so in this case, it actually does have a master spline. I don't know how well you can see that. It's got two of them, one there, one on that side. So yeah, it's good that we marked her anyway, because you're gonna have to get her back in there the same way. I put a plug in the end there because it was leaking a little bit of fluid out of there, and I didn't like that very much. So when you got it out, take a look. Make sure there's no gouges or anything ugly on there. A little bit of swirlies is fine. We're gonna lube that up before we put her back in there. Lube her up with whatever fluid is in the back of this, right? I'm pretty sure it's like ATF or something. So what you're gonna want to start with is marking which side goes where. Index, just like we did underneath, because these things are balanced, right? And you don't want it to be unbalanced, as it were. All right, so first things first, mark it. Let's get her going. Trusty rusty paint pen. I'm gonna hit her on the back side here. And then that side, I'm gonna index it to this, whatever this is. I don't know if you can see. It's already got those two marks I put there. Second thing second, knock these guys out of there. Pliers. Let's get them on there and give them one of those. But if they don't want to come out like that, we have our ways of persuasion. Punch. Just like that. And out she came. I'm gonna go on this angle here so I can get two at once and not have to keep rotating her. Also, if you got her in the vise here, don't go fucking haywire on her. You just wanna get it tight enough to hold it. Preemptive strikes here, boys and girls. So hit them like that, loosen them up. Okay, number two, don't reuse those for obvious reasons. Number three, and the final, just keep on keeping on, right? Keep on repeating on. Keep on droning on. Okay, needs a bit more suasion of the purr. What is going on, guys? got her. Now, make sure you got one of these. I guess I should have said that from the start. Gotta make sure you got one of these guys. It's a ball joint press. Take her out. All systems go. Gonna lube this up with some bicycle chain lube, but do whatever you like. Stuff smells really good. Huge fan. All right, so then what you're gonna wanna do is blast this guy through one way and then blast him through back the other way. Line it up like that and hit him. There we go. See how it came out of there? Take one of them off and then slam it back through. So I'm just gonna hit you onto the time lapse for that. So I actually decided against the time lapse on that. Grab yourself a set of channel locks and try to wiggle her out. Out she comes. We gotta push this guy back through, or maybe we don't, guys. No, we definitely do, guys. Get her topped in. So now we gotta push her back through. So we're just gonna line that guy up, hole over hole. Don't get excited. She's not having the best time getting lined up on that. Not a huge fan. What is happening? Brother, ew. Push her back a bit. How great would it be if that just came out of there? Try to get it perfectly straight, but that's hard for me right now. That appears to have been successful. She was just a bit hung up on that. Trying not to scuff this edge too much over here. So off she comes. Remember, we got to remind ourselves of our markings later. If you guys don't remind me of that, I'm going to be upset with you. Onwards! It's going to be so much dead air to edit out. So just keep repeating the steps. But we need it to go farther, me lord. We got a bit of room. Maybe I'll just blast it a bit more. One of these is longer than the other? Is that what the deal is? We don't know. I'm gonna fuck with this for a bit and I'll get back at you. All right, so what'd you miss? I basically flipped the drive shaft over and pushed it back the other way, and for some reason it is behaving now. So same deal. Off she come. Out she go. If you look in there, that's the little groove. Focus, you bastard. If you look in there, that's the little groove that you gotta sit your new guys of these in. But first, we're gonna clean up that stuff. Give her a little bufferoo, right? Make her nice. All right, how are we gonna do that? We don't know. We don't know, guys. It's actually not that bad. Just grab whatever you got around. Nope, not that. I'm gonna use a little filer. Don't go too hard on this. Just take the rust off, right? File down any burrs. And I'm actually gonna clean out those little slots. Anyway, continue like that and I'll get back at you. So as you can see, I got a little into the weeds with the cleaning there, but the important thing to remember is that some is better than none and overdoing her is too much. Just take off the surface rusts and make her like your investments. Somewhat smooth. Brained. So we got her all cleaned up. There was some burrs. We did some burrs by accident. What are you gonna do, right? We got her nice and cleaned up there. There you go. And same with that guy. So now, I do believe it's these. Maybe it's these. Oh, it's not those. So you gotta find your right guys here. Now, I'm not sure if it's gonna matter, but I'm gonna try to get the same, unless they're all the same thickness. They appear to be. Does it matter? We don't know. Guys, these might all be the same. I'm going to arbitrarily choose one, the shiniest one. And they all have that. So I don't know what it means. I don't know what any of this means. What can you do? Slap her together. Okay, reverse order. Grab your guy. If your guys have a grease guy on there, this one doesn't. I got the lifetime non-greasers. But if you have your grease guys on there, have the grease nipple situated in a way that you can get it when it's on the vehicle, right? So I'm gonna have to have some thinking. That's why I didn't do it, because I don't like thinking, right? So gently slide this guy off. Make sure none of those guys in there get knocked around or anything. Put him in like that. Got that guy lined back up on there. Push him through. Should I give him a couple of love taps, guys? Maybe just a couple. Now you take your guy, you put this guy into there. Some of these have a bevel on one side, allegedly. I don't think that's the case here, so I'm just gonna send it. Now we're gonna repeat the same step. We're gonna hit this guy through. But you're gonna wanna get it so that it's past the notch on this side, so you can put your other retainer in there. This guy's not quite there, so we're gonna hit him a bit more. If your guy gets stuck like this is, take a little ham bone. Knock them loose. Now we take our other guy here, we're not sure if it's beveled guy, and in she goes. And that looks okay to me. So there it is. Make sure it's seated in the groove on both sides, and you're good to go, right? I'm gonna put the rest of this back together on the time lapse, do the other side as well, and then we'll throw it back in, all right? Yep. Don't forget to line up your indexers at this point, because like I said, beefer, if you got her 180 out, it's gonna turn the cab of the vehicle into a 3-ton communal pocket rocket for you and the boys. Which, I mean, don't tempt me with a good time, am I right? But no, in this case, it's best to avoid such events where possible. It might take some time to get her seated in there. Like anything that's worth doing, it never feels worth it till it's done. And just because the repair didn't fix the issue you were trying to solve doesn't mean that it didn't fix an issue that may or may not have occurred in the future. And that might be worth something, he says to his wife. All right, maybe I take back what I said. Look at how much better these are. Wanted to drop in on you, just say this little bit of wisdoms. Once you get it seated in there, you want to take a little punch and just give her a little couple love taps. Make sure she's right in, because she might not go all the way in, especially if you were sucking at your cleaning. Maybe Maybe I'll turn it a bit, you can see the little love taps. And just do that on all four. Oh no. Just like that. Okay, I'm gonna do the other one. So the procedure for the rear is basically gonna be identical to the front. Make your indexers on your spin stick and flange, remove the retainer clips, then send her home with the Ducka Ducka Express. Don't be afraid to hit her with the old gas hatchet if even one of these parts steps out of line, because if you let it slide with one part, before you know it, word gets around to the other parts, and then all of a sudden the job is fighting you all the way to the finish line. In my case, word got around to some of the retainers that they could stay seated, so I had to break their wheels during removal. This complicated things a little bit, but after adding a few new wrinkles to the old brain compartment, I was able to figure out a solution. So if you run into this issue, this is what you do. I had this guy bust off in there, right? But luckily I was able to get this guy out. So I'm just gonna press it right through on the back there, and then I'll get that out after. But yeah, that's what you do. Also, I should say, these guys, the colors, they are actually different sizes. It's such a small amount though. I think as long as you have ones on the opposing sides that are the same size, I think you're probably okay. So we're coming down the final stretch here, and your boy has just about every tool in the toolbox out on the bench for some reason. Working with an unnecessary attention to detail not seen since his first encounter with the 1,000-word essay in grade school. At this point, he's just motoring to get her done before somebody notices how long he's been down in the garage and calls in a wellness check on him. It's a modern-day reenactment of the tortoise and the hare, only the tortoise is walking in circles and the rabbit has died of old age. So once you get all that done, so I did end up switching out those clips for the biggest ones there were. Ended up being that sort of yellow color. Anyway, so now all that's left to do is put the drive shift back in. Actually, gotta pull that plug out that I put in there. Oh, claustrophobia kicking off. So I pulled the plug out, and I'm gonna take the lubrication and just hit her up. There's not enough. Little lube never hurt nobody. All that's left to do is to jam her in there, boys and girls. Easier said than done. And I would say that's pretty lined up. Okay, so once that side's in, head down this way. So we lined her up over there. Ooh, sounds like something's happening. So we lined her up down there. Now we got to line her up here, and you can do that by turning this guy, or you can do that by turning this guy, whichever is your fancy. I think I'm going to turn this guy, line him up like that. If your flange is really messed up, you should probably clean it, right? I'm going to not, though. What do you think of that? I don't care what you think of that. Frig all that and frig all this, right? In she goes. Lock washer and your guy. Repeat. Oh yes, just get the rust in the eyes. Okay, and then you gotta torque those to 88 Newton meters, which, what does that mean? We don't know. I'll put it on the screen somewhere, or I won't, and you can frig off. First attempt is gonna be with the crow's foot, because although I took them off from the back, this back, I don't want to tighten them that way. I'm not sure why. Something in my spidey senses tells me not to. I'm just gonna get them started with the wrench. What'd you guys do today? Oh, I just listened to a guy's creeper crying out for mercy. So I'm just snugging it. You're supposed to replace these, it says Nissan, but frig all those guys, right? What do they know? Maybe some stuff, maybe not. Now we gotta see if I can get in there with this bastard. I absolutely hate crow's feet, for the record. Like, what an unbelievably annoying thing. What do we think of crow's feet? We hate them. All right, at the risk of sounding long-winded, being long-winded, I'm gonna go over those again one more time. Then I'm gonna do the front drive shaft. I was gonna take you along for the ride, but it's getting late. Just wanna get it done now. Well, all right, guys, that's how you replace your joints on your 2000 Nissan Xterra. Hopefully after that, your go shaft is just letting her rip, right? Not vibrating around and making stupid bearing noise. Anyway, like, favorite, and scuba dive, and I'll catch you later. Oh yeah. Like, favorite, subscribe. Oh no. God, it looks like a 4-year-old made this. It's gonna be a masterclass in editing if I can make this look good. You alright? You hurt yourself in there? I heard some stuff. I'm fighting against the claustro-phobias. I lean onto the side of it being your guys' fault, right? Just because that's easier for me. Oh, he's spitting everywhere. God.